Okay. All right, so taking the legs up the wall or up the chair or up the bed. So we're beginning our chakra system reset for 2021. So we're going to begin this practice with a mild inversion. So if you have a bed, a chair, a table nearby, you could lie on the back and just take the legs up the chair, up the table. Again, you can take the legs up the wall. I have a closet here. If you don't have anything like that, I definitely recommend you could get like pillows or cushions. And just again, just stack it up enough that your legs can kind of roughly be, about 90 degrees, right? So, but generally speaking, we just want to make sure the feet are at least above the head in a comfortable way. So this is a mild inversion. And yeah, you could also do a supported bridge or shoulder stand. That's available too. That's a little bit more work, but you're welcome to do that. It is always nice in a yoga practice to have props, blankets, pillows, but we can always just make do with what we have. So we're beginning, usually this class, as most of you know, starts with a few minutes of a supported pose where we check in, we start to deepen the breath, and then we sort of set the intention for the practice. So once you have the legs up, the blood flow will start to reverse. This immediately starts to shift our nervous system when we're upside down, especially if it's comfortable, and deepen the breath. So take a big, big inhale through the nose, and then open mouth, exhale. And do that a couple more times. Take a deep, deep breath in. And open mouth, let it go. And one more time, take a big, 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 big breath. And release. And now just start to breathe in and out through your nose. And as you breathe in and out through your nose, notice the way the body shifts as you breathe. The inhale rising, the exhale descending. And as you settle, the back body moves closer to the earth and you can feel the spine. And with the legs up or the feet up, we allow that energy to start to flush out, to clear out. And as you just sort of feel into the body, relaxing, the energy flow shifting, the breath deepening, I just want to see if you can start to articulate your breath with your spine. So as you inhale, can you feel from your tailbone up into the crown? And as you exhale, can you feel into the crown down to the tail? And it may be focused at the back of the body. So you may be really focusing on breathing up and down the back of the body. Or maybe it makes more sense for you to breathe up the front of the body, or maybe through the center of the body. So we're beginning this practice with the legs up and some conscious spinal awareness breath. So I talk about resetting, sort of checking into our chakra system. Chakra is a Sanskrit word. It's an ancient Sanskrit word that means wheel. And in the Tantric tradition, in the Hindu tradition, in the Buddhist tradition, in various traditions, they talk about the chakras as the wheels of light and as centers that have to do with our vitality and the balance between our matter and our spirit. And so in some traditions, there are thousands of chakras. There are thousands of different chakras, but most systems agree on 7 or 8 main ones. And why they are the main ones is because they do coincide with the spine. And we know now with our Western medicine that the spine really does, in a lot of ways, dictate quality of life. It is the central nervous system, which has to do, again, with the functionality of our being. And so there are 7 main centers that move from the tailbone to the crown. And now as you continue breathing, maybe just feel into each space. So the first chakra, the root chakra, the Muladhara chakra, is around the tailbone coccyx area. It rules the legs, the feet, our elimination. It is our earth chakra. It is our survival chakra. And we will be diving into that next week. And it's the earth. It's the heavy, dense chakra. So the tailbone, the coccyx down to the toes. Maybe just noticing, breathing into that part of the body. And then the second chakra, the sacral chakra, the Svadhisthana chakra. It's our water chakra. It is the pelvis, the genitals, the reproductive organs, the sacrum, the pelvic bowl. It is the water, emotional, creative, intuitive chakra. And it rules our reproduction as well as our creative and intuitive endeavors. So maybe just feeling into the hips, the pelvic bowl, the sacrum, the energy of reproduction in the body, whether that's creative or biological. And then shifting your focus and your breath into the solar plexus and the mid back. This is where we have our stronger core muscles and our vital internal organs, a lot of them. And this is our fiery golden third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura, the shining jewel. Again, this is fire, action, will, it's digestion. And this is our powerhouse. The core is our powerhouse. So just maybe breathing into the solar plexus, into the upper abdominals, into the mid back, just noticing this space. And then moving up into the chest, the heart. So this is our physical chest, breast, the arms, the hands, the shoulders, as well as the lungs and the heart. So this is a lot of our most vital, physical and energetic. This is love, compassion, the anahata, the green air, unstruck center. So there's 7 main chakras. So this is the center of the chakra system. And so the heart, the chest, the arms, the hands, all an extension of the heart space. The upper back, the shoulder blades. This is our green chakra of love and compassion. And this is where the breath, right? This is where the lungs are, the heart is. So feeling the breath as it moves through your lungs, through your arms, just noticing the literal and energetic heart space. And then feeling into the 5th chakra, which is the throat, the jaw, the mouth, the neck, the ears. This is our blue chakra, our Vishuddha chakra, our purified chakra. The bottleneck to the ethereal chakras, communication, expression, our voice. And so maybe just noticing, maybe shaking the head a little bit, feeling into your neck, your jaw, maybe exhaling out the mouth here. And then we move the attention to the 3rd eye point, which is the 6th chakra, the Agnya chakra. This is the 3rd eye point, the psychic eye, the inner eye, the intuitive eye, as well as the physical eyes, the optical nerve, the front of the brain, the part of the brain that controls. It's the command center. It kind of tells everything what else to do, our perception. So maybe just again, breathing, feeling into this space. This also rules the sinuses, front of the brain, the pineal gland. All of the chakras have glands, and we'll talk about that as we break them down, but especially the pineal gland here. And then we breathe into the crown. So bringing the attention up into the crown, so the top of the head, the back of the brain, all of the matter of the brain that is connected to our subconscious, unconscious, the untapped potential. And this is the Sahasrara. This is the 1,000-petaled lotus. That is the opening to limitless potential, to spiritual connection. And again, our own untapped genius and potential. This is the opening to liberation and inspiration. And so just a few more breaths. And if your legs are up the wall and they're feeling a little tingly, you're welcome to bring the knees down or soles of the feet together. But now just sort of feeling into these spaces, just maybe noticing as you breathe, is there one particular area that draws your attention? Is there one particular part of the body that has more sensation this morning? Are you sensing anything? And a lot of you who've been working through the chakras, have you checked in with these centers lately? And so today, like I said, we're just going to kind of touch into each one, just sort of check in, and then we'll kind of move through, because a lot of times what we're feeling in one chakra doesn't necessarily mean that there's a disconnect there or an imbalance there. Sometimes it has to do with something happening in a totally different chakra, but that's where it manifests. And so this is not a process of diagnosis. This is not a process of being of symptomatic exploration. It's really about being in deeper relationship with ourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And the chakra system is a map, it's a cartography that is available for us to know ourselves, to work with ourselves, to have specific tools to bring balance. And so whatever you're feeling right now, again, in your body, just honor that you are feeling, that you are sensing, that you're bringing this awareness to your system. And just be really gentle with that awareness today in the practice. Just really noticing as we move through, and some poses will be specific for the whole system, others will be more specific for each one, but just checking in. And there's a lot of information with these systems. And again, I'm going to try to keep that minimal today and use the individual sessions to get more in depth. But just, as always, receive what resonates, release what doesn't. Let's go ahead and take one more big breath in, fill all the way up to the crown of the head. And then open mouth, exhale. So if the legs are still up, draw the knees into the chest or the soles of the feet together. And just set the intention that this is a practice to bring awareness to the energetic anatomy. There's no way to do that wrong or perfectly. It's just about awareness. And so you can draw the knees in, give yourself a little rock, roll out a little bit. And then take your time to lower to one side, and then we'll come up to a comfortable seat. So a seat for you may look like sitting up on a block or a blanket or a prop or a towel. In a lot of yoga practices, we sit cross-legged. That's not required. You're welcome to sit on the bed. You're welcome to sit in a chair. You're welcome to sit any way you want. We're looking for that spinal awareness. So we want sit bones down, right? And then we want the spine lifted. And that's what the comfortable seat in yoga is. So even if you're sitting up against a wall, sitting up on a chair, that's fine. And if anyone has any questions about any of the poses, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask. So sitting up nice and tall, hands on the thighs, or you can place them on the body. Sometimes I find it very grounding to put a hand on heart, hand on belly, that lower and higher connection. And just notice how the breath is different. So when we're upside down, trying to breathe up and down the spine, it can feel different. So just here, can you inhale up the back of the body from the base of the spine to the crown of the head? As you exhale, can you feel the breath move from the crown down to the tail? So as though you're creating like a donut type shape, right? Like kind of a little circle up and down your spine or up and around your spine. And the chakras connect to the rainbow. They are exactly aligned with the rainbow, with the red at the root, orange at the sacrum, yellow at the solar plexus, green at the heart, light blue at the throat, an indigo, dark blue at the third eye, and a violet at the crown. And then I also sort of associate the white as the higher space above the crown chakra, sometimes known as the 8th chakra, the Auric chakra. And so if you are someone who is visual, you can always work with colors. And each chakra has a sound, has symbols, qualities. And again, for today, we're just feeling into the space. We're just giving our chakra system space to be felt, to be breathed, and to start this process towards recalibration for whatever 2021 is bringing. So take another breath, again, breathing up the spine and down the front. And then again, inhale, draw all the way up to the crown. Open mouth, let it go. And so we'll chant a single Om. Om is the sound associated with the 7th chakra in a lot of traditions. And so when we chant Om in classes, that's one of the meanings, is that we're connecting to that higher consciousness, that higher possibility. And you might even see that Om up at the crown is like a shower of crystal light washing over all of the chakra system. So if you'd like to join in, you can chant Om or just listen or hum. Take a deep breath. Release the hands to the knees and just start to move the spine. So as you inhale, open your chest, exhale, round. Inhale, open, exhale, round. So this is a full spinal movement. As you inhale, we roll forward, opening everything up. Exhale, tuck in and arch all the way back. So maybe take the first few nice and slow. And again, articulating that awareness up and down your spine. You can continue to breathe up the spine and down the front of the body, or maybe it feels good just to breathe through the center. So in the tantric tradition, the chakras sort of work through the nadis. The nadis are channels, sort of similar to meridians in some traditions. And the main nadi kind of goes right up the body, and then it kind of, the Sushumna nadi that goes all the way up, and then the Ida and Pingala sort of serpentine through, and they end at the nostrils, and that creates, where those meet, that creates each chakra. And so again, in the body, maybe you really feel that center line, or maybe it is more of a circular movement. And there's a lot of different practices, a lot of different traditions for the chakras. At Yoga Blend, we tend to, a lot of us have tended to resonate with the same lineages and traditions. But I definitely encourage you to look into different practices, different traditions. And if you've had teachers that talk about the chakra system in a different way, like, feel into that, because that's all today is about, is just this idea that we're feeling into this system. Hold the cat stretch, so arch and round, draw the belly in. So really feel that, again, the sensitivity of the back body from the tailbone all the way up to the crown. And then lift yourself back up to center. Exhale it out. Switch the cross of the legs if you are sitting cross-legged. And now we're going to move the spine in a circle. So the hands can stay light on the thighs or stay on the shins. And just start to notice how this shifts it. And so if you keep in mind this idea of the energy moving up and down the spine, maybe this rainbow bridge of elements and qualities moving up and down the spine, again, how does that allow the body to adjust? I remember years ago when I was studying with one of my shamanic teachers, we were doing a chakra tune-up. We were listening to chakra sounds, and I felt myself just, without intention, moving in this way. And it was almost like I couldn't stop myself. Like, it was just the energetic system kind of took on its own embodiment. And oftentimes the kundalini, if you've heard that word, that is sort of like when that chakra energy sort of comes alive, and it kind of burns up any of the mala, the stagnancy in the systems, and it sort of opens things. Again, a lot of different schools of thought on that experience. But for me, this movement, the spiral movement, tends to feel more just more juicy, more connected. And so you might play with that through the practice today. What places help you to feel more connected, more aligned, more sort of moving out of the linear, logical, rational, and into your more creative, intuitive, spiritual practice. We do want to reverse the direction, though. We do want to make sure we move in both ways, because we tend to always start on the side. That's also why we switch the cross of the legs if you're sitting cross-legged, because we tend to have our dominant side, and we want to bring balance. So just let the head and neck go. Take a few more breaths. So we're sort of churning through the spine, through the system. Again, that rainbow light swirling through the body. And just kind of getting some spinal awareness here. And then again, slowly come to center. Make sure the sits bones are rooted. Reach your arms up, inhale. Exhale, left hand behind you, right hand to left knee, and just breathe into the twist. So soften the shoulders, lift the spine. And most of you are aware that in yoga, in the yoga philosophy, the hatha yoga, the breath body yoga, has everything to do with the spine. So while they don't always necessarily equate that to the chakras, it does feel like that's the awareness. That if we can have this firm ease through the spine, through all of the chakras, we're going to have clarity. We're going to have more clarity and balance. So again, feeling the inhaling, moving up the back, exhale down the front. Noticing, again, areas of tension or discomfort or disconnect that move up and down the spine. And maybe you are aware of injuries or challenges that you've sustained in specific centers. Relax your head over to the right. Take another breath. Side out. Inhale, reach the arms up, sitting tall. Exhale, right hand behind you, left hand to right knee. So relax the shoulders. You might look over that right shoulder. You can kind of look just straight forward. And feeling the sits bones settling and noticing again from right to left if there's any variation in the sensation. Turn the head towards the left. Deep breath. And side out. Reach your arms back up to center. Inhale. This time, left hand to the left, right arm overhead. Roll the shoulders down. So right arm can reach up and over. That intensifies the side body opening, or right arm straight up or behind the back. So far we've done the main movements of the spine just to start to, again, reset and bring awareness. We've been upside down. Move the spine forward and back. Twist side to side. And then we'll start to get into each chakra after this and just get a little taste. So just keep thinking about that long line, that rainbow up the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, right hand to the right, left arm up and over. And again, if it's too much to have left arm up and over, bring it straight up or hook it behind. We want that length and that synergy through the spine. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. And just keep the breath going. So even if you feel like you have to modify the movements or even not do some of the movements, just keep the breath going. Just keep that sort of rainbow awareness up the body. And again, you benefit from the practice. The physical postures are secondary. The breath and intention are primary. The breath is primary, the tension after, and then the movement. That's been my experience anyway. Good, last breath. And then inhale, reach it up, big stretch. Exhale, pull down through the centers all the way down. Release your hands, extend your legs, give them a nice little shake. And then we're going to come up to stand. So bringing the body up to standing. Adjust this real quick. Here we go. And so whatever that means for you, you can be standing at the top of the mat, however you want. Feet are about hip width distance or outer hip width distance apart, toes facing forward. Soften your knees and feel into your feet. So we're going to feel into the root, feel into the Muladhara, the red chakra. So as you shift your weight around, just notice how you feel off center, how you feel balanced. There are 4 corners to the feet. They connect us to the compass of the land. The root chakra is our relationship to the planet, to our family, to our bodies, to the material world, the dense, gross world of survival. It is the container of our system. And so finding our footing is very much a root chakra practice. And as we enter a new year, the first month of the new year being ruled by the cardinal earth, the root energy of really finding a firm foundation to start from. That's what we connect to in the root. So feel into the 4 corners of the feet. Let yourself rock and shift until you feel really grounded. The toes can be slightly lifted, knees just soft. And this is our mountain pose. Mountain pose is the whole body, but it really is connected to the feet because that's what's weight bearing. Roll your shoulders down. Chin is parallel. Knees soft, belly draws in. So the body is alert, it is awake. We are present in our body and our breath, all starting at the feet. And again, can you feel as you press down through your feet and stand tall, that energy moving up and down the spine, like that rainbow spiral through your being? Inhale, reach your arms up, lift up. And now as you exhale, forward fold, bend the knees as you need to, bring yourself down. Hands can land at the mat. This may be a space where you get blocks or pillows, and the knees can stay bent. You can also slide your hands to your shins or your thighs. And as you inhale, lift up halfway. Lengthen your spine, press down through the feet. Exhale, bow a little more. Let your head go, let your neck go. And then soft knees, inhale, sweep it wide, reach up, big stretch. Exhale, hands pull down the chakras and release at the sides. We'll do that a few times, and it does, of course, through the whole system, but really feeling the legs, really feeling that foundation from the legs. Inhale up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, hands to floor, prop, shin, or thighs. Extend, and then bow. Inhale all the way up, reach, hands to heart. And then release to the side, reestablishing foundation. One more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to heart. And then they release down. Take a breath. And then we're going to reach up. And this time as we fold, we're going to pause here. So exhale, dive down. And let yourself linger in Uttanasana or Ragdoll. So if you need support under the hands, go ahead and take that. You could also use the bed or the chair. Toes are still facing forward, knees soft. And then you can just explore here to really feel the feet pressing into the earth as you bend the knees, rock the hips. You can even hold here, belly resting on the thighs. So just kind of give into gravity, give into the roots. And you might even see if you can look down at the toes and lift the toes and notice how that brings more support. So just feeling into the legs. And as we kind of bend and straighten the legs, you might start to feel some energy through the hamstrings. You might start to feel a little shaky. So that's all part of the root chakra waking up. And so when we do this pose on a regular basis, again, this grounds us, this turns us towards our own survival, our own awareness, our own foundation, our connection to the earth and our body. And just imagine just letting go down into those roots. And this is absolutely our survival chakra. So low back pain, very common here. Issues of elimination, very common here. Obviously anything in the legs down into the feet. And they just sometimes can come up when either there's too much attention here or not enough. And again, this is not about diagnosing or symptom specific. It's just about awareness and flow. Inhale, lengthen up halfway, stretch the spine. Exhale, bow. From this position, keep the right foot where it is and just step your left foot back, I don't know, about 6 inches. So your feet are still the same width apart. The feet are planted and your legs are still straight. So it's totally fine to have softness in the knees, especially if you have a body that likes to hyperextend. But sometimes this can be easier if you have blocks or again, even if you're at a chair. So this is pyramid pose. So this is definitely a root chakra pose because we're really getting into the hamstrings, the calves, and we have to really hug into those big muscles. So lift your toes, press through the four corners of the feet, draw your hips back. And you might stay lifted up, or if you start to fold closer to the right leg, it's going to intensify. So my right leg is starting to shake as I fold it in. One of my chakra teachers, Anade and Judith, would say that the shaking is the chakras waking up and coming back online. So maybe that root chakra has been asleep, or this is also the chakra of, again, survival. So it can get traumatized and frozen too. So we're kind of bringing it back, especially if, any major life things have shifted recently. So again, keep that smooth breath. Just a few more here. Head and neck soft. Inhale. Exhale. And then lengthen up, step the left foot back up. Whew. And just give yourself a little wiggle, a little shake. So shaking consciously also helps to release the nervous system. And then inhale, lengthen up, halfway stretch. Exhale, bow. Step the right foot back about 6 inches. Square the hips, soften the knees, press through the four corners of the feet, lift the toes. And then again, you can either keep the spine lifted or you can start to fold. But especially push down through the big toe ball mounds, draw the belly in. So again, the whole spine is sort of being decompressed here, which is great because it's wonderful when these poses benefit the whole system. But we're just noticing today, we're just checking in, we're noticing the areas that, again, feel more tender, feel more restricted, bring up more emotional sensation. Some poses make us want to cry or swear or throw up. Other ones feel really good. And pretty much everything in between. Last few breaths, pressing through the feet, surrendering to that root awareness, our root support, the Muladhara chakra. Whew. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step that right foot up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Give them a little shake. Wiggle it out, bend the knees. Exhale out the mouth. And then slowly bend the knees, roll up, one vertebra at a time. And then shake the legs out at the top. And then if it's okay for you, even do a little stomping or hopping. So this is good for the root chakra, a little stomping, hopping, jumping, or just shaking. So again, trying to release, jumpstart this energy. Take a big breath in and out. Whew. And then settle back into your mountain and just notice the difference. Soft knees, spine long. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. As you exhale, we'll step to all fours. So you are always welcome to pad the knees with a blanket or pillow or anything you need. We will not be on all fours long. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to just bring some awareness to the second chakra, coming back into circles with the hips. So second chakra, Svadhisthana chakra, the emotional chakra, the intuitive chakra, the water chakra. So really just focus on moving from your hips here. And you can also do this standing. So if you can't be on the knees at all, then just stay standing and circle the hips and just do some nice big hip circles here. So the idea is that the root chakra contains us. It's our safe container and foundation so that we can connect to the emotional fluidity. So it's like if you just start dumping water randomly, it's going to kind of spill everywhere. But if you pour it into a cup, into a bowl, right, then you can work with it. You can utilize it, whether it's drinking it or cleaning with it or whatever the intention is. So we establish the firm roots, the container, and then we can dive into emotion and intuition and sensuality. So this is our chakra connected to our feelings, to our senses, which is why for a lot of us, this is a challenging area. And even doing the hip circles might feel uncomfortable or unknown. Reverse the direction. This is orange. This is the orange water chakra. This is where we move out of that survival mentality, again, into a more emotive awareness, our feelings, allowing our feelings to guide us. But again, sometimes this chakra is either we're disconnected from our feelings or we're overrun by them. So just noticing as you create this little bit of a flow. So flow is really good for this chakra. Just the sensation, the hips, the pelvis, genitals, reproductive organ, the sacrum. Take another big breath in. And exhale to a neutral spine. And then you can do this from all fours, or you could push into a down dog, or you come up to your knees. We're going to bring the right foot forward to the edge of the mat. So the right foot comes to the edge of the mat, hands to the inside. And if you are not able to be on the knees, take a wide leg pose and then bend into the right knee this way too. So that's an option, or doing the lunge with the knee up. So hands are down inside the right leg. And I just want you to rock a little. We're just gonna take a few breaths. So hands are inside the right foot, just a little rock, little pulse. For most of us, there's a lot of sensation here. So can you just keep the breath fluid? I know we did hips last week, so again, we have a couple weeks till we get into this chakra. So again, just noticing what comes up on this side particularly, or just in general, being in your hips. You can be up on props here. So if you have bolsters, pillows, blocks. One more breath. Exhale it out. And we're just gonna switch sides. So you can slide back to all fours. You might rock the hips like you're wagging your tail. Again, if you're standing, you can do a wide leg forward fold, and then we'll bring the left foot forward. So left foot comes to the edge of the mat, toes forward, right knee down, you can lift it, or again, from wide legs, bend into the left knee. Use props if you need to. This is my tighter side, and just find a little rock. So the way the ocean is never still, there's always a pulse. Notice what happens to the breath. Can you keep breathing up and down the spine? Or at least just focus the breath here in our low belly. The sacred abode, the Svadhisthana. Take another big breath. Side out. And then we'll slide back to wild child's pose if that's available. So if you're standing, just keep the legs wide and fold here. If you're able to be down, knees wide, big toes together, sitting back here. So you can be on the forearms, head can be on a block, or just bow all the way to the earth. So just takes a few good breaths. And both wide leg forward fold and child's pose, again, the whole spine releases. For me, they're both a little bit of the first and second chakras as well, because they're very grounding, but we're also still opening the hips. Again, just connect back to the energy of the spine. A deep breath in. and out. Slowly lift yourself up or come down if you've been standing onto the butt. So for our third chakra, we're going to do a little bit of core, just a little bit of boat pose. There's so much more to the third chakra than just core, but for our little taste today, we're going to focus on that part of it. So hug the knees together, roll the shoulders down. So again, feel the feet pressing into the earth. Feel yourself softening back into the pelvis as you lift your chest up. So third chakra, solar plexus, fire chakra, power chakra, the shining jewel. So the hands can stay behind the hamstrings, or you can bring the arms up about shoulder height. Pull the belly in towards the thighs, lift up, and as you exhale, lean back and feel the belly fire up, feel the abdominals fire up. Inhale, lift up, exhale back. So again, we're finding that little bit of a pulse, that little bit of a flow, but rather than the realm of water, we are in the realm of fire. So keep hugging the knees together. We don't want the knees to splay out. We want to hug the knees in, so you can always put a block or a pillow between the thighs. You can hold the hamstrings. If you have low back tenderness, sometimes it's nice to bring the hands behind you. Those of you who want a little more fire, though, you can lift up a leg at a time. So as you lean back, you lift a leg. And the closer you bring the belly to the thighs, the more you're going to feel that contraction. But if you notice, my chest is lifted. I'm drawing my belly in. My sits bones are still connected to the earth. Again, the awareness of the legs. So the hope is that as we move up and down the chakras, we don't lose the connection, right? I don't get so caught up in the fire of my belly that I forget about the water of the sacrum or the earth of my root. Okay, we're going to hold. The next time you lean back, hold. So that can look like holding the hamstrings with the feet down or having your hands back. Can look like lifting one leg, or for some of you, lift both legs. So you may start to feel that belly shake. Draw the belly and lift up, soften the jaw. So keep that breath. If you can't breathe, then you have to back out a little bit. This is what we want that energy to spin, to move. Exhale, lower down, pause. Give yourself a little rock. So we'll do that a couple more times. So lifting up, leaning back, and then again, it may be a different variation, right? So totally fine to try them out because one may feel more empowering. One may make you feel more connected because this is power, will, humor. This is our joy. This is that in the belly. This is in our belly here. That solar plexus. Inhale. Exhale, release. It's our internal sun, right? That sun that shines out. The root chakra is ancestry. The second chakra is intimacy. The third chakra is individuality. So we're going to do one more here. So keep your feet down to start, okay? And then lean back. Now you can just hold boat, which is plenty, or bring the hands together and we're going to draw those rainbows. Drawing the rainbow from side to side. Now, those of you who want more, you can go back to lifting the leg. So whatever side you twist to, lift that leg. But keep lifting up, sitting up nice and tall. Draw the belly in. Soften the face. Couple more. And then hold to the right, lift up, pull the belly in, twist. Inhale, center, exhale to the left, hold belly in. Exhale completely, inhale back, exhale, release. Whew, that's enough third chakra. Open the knees, soles of the feet together. So let's, again, bring that back down to the lower chakras for a moment. And you can rock and flutter. The hip flexors start to bind in core work. So that's part of that second, third chakra connection. You can also kind of forward fold here if that feels good. Again, just take a few breaths. Just noticing the flow of energy, the flow of breath. Sometimes we get into a chakra and we love it. That's our jam. That's our chakra. And other times we're just like, ugh. Good, bring it up. Hug it in. And let's come onto the belly. Let's do a little bit of Sphinx and some heart stuff here for the fourth chakra, and starting to move the energy into the higher chakras. So you can always keep a blanket or a towel under your pelvis if your hips press into the mat. Feet are hip width distance. Forearms are down. The shoulders are over the elbows. Tops of the feet press down. Pelvis presses. So again, we don't forget about those other chakras, right? Tops of the feet are down. Pelvis presses down. This is also great to stretch out the belly. So again, the connection between our power and love and compassion. And then also here too, we can kind of shake out the head, release the head and neck. So a great pose for the whole body. Start to lift up into the chest. So the Anahata, the unstruck heart chakra, the green air, the lungs, the heart, the upper back, shoulders, fingers, and everything in between. Our breath. So we're going to do some breathing here. So you can just hold, you could always lower the forehead to the mat if you need to. But as we breathe, I want you to bring a 4 count inhale and exhale. So pranayama is the main practice of the heart. So inhaling, counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. And you can either just lower down, make a little pillow with your hands, or you can bring your hands under your shoulders, and we're going to lift up into Anahatasana, into the heart opening pose. So the knees are under the hips, the toes are tucked. Stick your butt up, walk out, lower the forehead. An alternative here can be downward dog also. But just a few more breaths into the heart, releasing that stretch, receiving the breath. Again, the green energy of the heart. Soften here. So Anahatasana, down dog, or just stay on your belly and keep breathing. Inhale, exhale. Bring it on up and carefully roll down onto the back. Please do have a block, a book, or a pillow nearby. But as you roll down, we release the energy of the lower chakras, the more specific elemental chakras. Hug the knees in, give yourself a hug. And we start to open up the channel to the higher chakras, and there's less poses associated with them. Again, it's more of energetic and meditative practices. But with the 5th chakra, the purified chakra, a lot of times we associate twists with the 5th and 3rd chakra. So when you feel ready, we'll roll the knees to the right into a twist. So if you have a favorite spinal twist, you can do that. The knees settle to the right, and then the left arm is over to the left. And while you're here, so you're going to kind of shake your head. So this is, again, going to kind of ring out all the lower chakras and open up the bottleneck of the 5th chakra. So soften your jaw, wiggle your jaw. Just take a few purifying breaths, wringing out the lower body so that the energy we bring up into the higher chakras is perfectly pure. That's the meaning of the Vishuddha chakra, the throat, the neck, the jaw, the ears, the teeth. So all that we have going on here, it's the thyroid, the parathyroid, the voice box. So while you're here, take a big breath into this twist and then open your mouth and just let out some sound. So sound is the primary tool of the fifth chakra. Conscious sound, humming, singing, chanting, toning, also writing, reading out loud. Take another big breath in, exhale out a sound. And then draw the knees back and give yourself a hug. And then when you're ready, we'll twist to the left. So knees to the left, and then roll that right arm out to the right. And just take a moment to just rock your head a little bit. Open and close the jaw. Again, feel into your ears. So listening, also really important for fifth chakra. We get very caught up in it being about, having the right to speak and be heard, which is vital, but also deep listening, deep respectful listening is the yoga here too. So that balance of listening and being heard, right? Let's make a little more sound. Speaking of being heard, take a big breath. And then do that again. When you're ready, inhale, let out whatever sound the mouth needs to release. And then soften just a little bit more. The sky blue Vishuddha chakra, the chakra of chanting, sound. And then draw the knees in. And we're going to come into supported bridge. So supported bridge is probably one of the favorite poses for this chakra, but it also connects to all the chakras. And some of you may have started with this, but that's okay. You can do it again. Lift your hips. So the knees are bent, feet are down. Lift your hips, move your block or any firm, flat item under your sacrum. Wiggle your shoulders underneath, and then let the knees knock together. So this is the best pose for the thyroid, which again is the gland of the fifth chakra. And it just helps to reset. It's that mild inversion. If you want to go deeper again, you can try to bend the knees into the chest or the legs to the sky. This is a shoulder stand variation. Also one of the poses associated with the higher chakras. And you can do that fourth chakra breath here, inhaling 4, exhaling 4. And just again, notice as we move into the higher chakras, what you are experiencing. So anytime we go upside down, we're connecting to the higher chakras, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So again, we started the practice today in a mild inversion, and we sort of touch back here. And again, maybe you're focusing at the throat, the jaw, the neck, or maybe you notice where the energy flows as you are upside down now at this point in the practice. Take 3 more deep breaths. Relax the face. And letting the body release whatever it needs through this chakra journey. And after that third breath, bring your feet back to the mat. And then we'll slowly lift the hips, move the prop, and roll down. Now, as you roll down, you can bring the knees open, soles of the feet together, or you can extend the legs. We're going to take a couple minute relaxation here, but we're going to do some visualization for the 6th chakra. So feel free if you need to grab any support, pillow under the knees or under the head, or again, soles of the feet together. So maybe support under your thighs. And then just feel that release, just let go. And so we've already kind of moved through the chakras to bring awareness at the beginning, and we're going to kind of move through again, this time focusing just at the color. So if it's easier for you, if you're newer to visualization, or visualization is a skill that you're not really comfortable with, just focus at the space between the eyebrows. So this is the chakra of the pineal gland, the front brain, the eyes, our perception, our vision, the command center. And again, color is the other primary practice, as well as darkness. So conscious time in darkness is very important as well, or being out with just natural light. So just the stars, just the sky, not all the unnatural light. And so you can just focus at that space between the eyebrows as I move us through the rainbow, or you can move your attention through the body part that's associated with it. And so as you relax the body, as you relax the breath, as you feel the energy flowing through the body, through the spine, just invite in the color red. Just breathe in and out, and to the best of your ability, visualize the color red. And sometimes it's easier to visualize like a red apple, or like something that you associate with that color. And just imagine that to the best of your ability, the color red. And then it fades into the color orange. So sometimes like fresh squeezed orange juice, or again, any association with the color orange, you can easily call in the color orange. And then that fades into a yellow, a bright yellow. Sometimes I think of the sun, or a sunflower, or a fire. Just the color yellow. And then fading into a emerald green, like the beautiful trees of the Pacific Northwest, or fresh broccoli, whatever you have a positive green association with, the color green. And then it fades into a sky blue, again, like the California sky or the desert sky, or again, whatever you associate with the color blue. And that fades into a dark blue, like a midnight blue, like the night sky, indigo, the color indigo, dark blue. And then that fades into a violet, like an amethyst or lavender, however you can call in the color violet. And then it moves into a sparkling white. And just the space around the third eye, the space of the body from the crown all the way through you, just bathed in a beautiful white light. Just allow this white light from above the crown, like a waterfall from the stars, just washing through the chakras. This rainbow. And just let yourself be rinsed. Feel the crystalline waters of white, pure light and dancing, sparkling rainbow moving through you, around you, letting everything go. You are welcome to stay here in Shavasana, because for the crown, meditation and relaxation and time in nature are the best practices, as well as whatever appropriate spiritual reflection you have. So you can stay here longer, but if you want to close the practice together, we'll just take our time and come to sit for just a moment in meditation. So you can deepen the breath, wiggle and stretch, rock and roll. And seated meditation can be really challenging and is not appropriate for everybody. But oftentimes after we've done a full practice like this, we are able to just sort of tap into that moment. Again, feeling the sits bones on the earth and the spine lifted. And just again, letting the breath move up and down the spine. And again, maybe just for the moment, noticing meditation's a practice of observation a lot of the time. Just noticing the difference in your body and your breath, maybe your awareness of your body and your breath. And as you move through this week, before our next practice, maybe just tap into that rainbow light. And just noticing in your body, that rainbow light. And we'll close with the sound of the seventh chakra one more time, that radiant sound of Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. And I bow to you. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.